A nice bit of oxygen over there. Now we're getting some exploration. I should have been doing the exploration before. That's probably one of the biggest weaknesses I have in the game, is just getting out there and exploring biomes. I need to do it so much more than I do. So much more. Probably sink a ladder down there. Take that up as well. Oh yeah, the force. Dear Lord. I am going to need to get onto that, aren't I? Do we have the furniture for it? We do. It's not going to immediately help, but just having this here will be better than nothing for the time being. I'm going to make these a higher priority, quite a high priority right now. Let's get this work done, peeps. Chop, chop. Also, I'd like that one on a 6. This is now a super high priority, purely to keep him from losing his mind. Where's the coal power plant? Got enough to connect them. Perfect. Now that is capable of outputting how much? 600 watts. We're going to need a little bit more than that, actually. But not always. We'll also deconstruct this battery in time because it's a worse loss. What? Oh, you buffoon! You enormous imbecile! My goodness. Have I seen Old World? I have not looked into it, no. I've seen people play it, and I've seen a lot of people ask about it. But I have not looked into it myself, no. Lux Bobman, thank you very much for gifting another sub out. That's really kind of you. Thank you. That's incredibly kind of you. Diolch yn fawr. Old World is like a crossing between Civ 4 and Crusader Kings 2. Isn't it? Am I right in thinking that it has the developer who worked on Civ 4 is a part of... Ooh, crude oil. Has he got something to do with that project? Nice. It's been a while since I've looked at any games by him, which is quite a shame. Actually, he's a really nice guy. Oh, diolch yn fawr. Basically, thank you very much. Literally translated, thank you, big. Yeah, soaring. Now, what I want from this, I want you to release when you're relatively full. At this point, I basically want a constant supply of coal over here. Yoink. Colony achievement earned. Red light, blue light? Yeah, red light, green light, rather. There's only one person who needs that right now. Though, that being said... how is their stress? It's going up, unfortunately. Low oxygen is a big contributor to that, which is a problem that we're not going to easily fix. So we do need to get that massage table. Let's just massage your worries away. Don't worry about the fact that you're slowly suffocating to death. There we go. We're at the edge of the world over here, though. Got some pinch of pepper plants, got some water weed, got some pinchro. That'll be a source of steel if we need it. With their eggshells and malts. And I'm going to give you a low priority order to mop all of this. It's not going to be a high one. I don't need it to be particularly urgent. Right now, we're not going to take a duplicant unless you've got an amazing one. Nope, no amazing ones. Yeah, you're in a room with 60-degree oxygen. Oh, that's not comfy. Would be amazing if someone brought along some coal right now. I'm not gonna lie. Get in there, the force. You need to take some downtime. There you go, buddy. I am shocked by how little... What? I was like, no! I can't breathe! Why did you build it there? That is a fair question, actually. I want to help you, but at the same time... No, I really need to stop you. Leave this place. It's full of death. So much death. Yeah. It's getting like that up here, to be honest, but thankfully the water is relatively cool compared to the area around it. Over here, it's crazy hot. Okay. As much as I really wanted that oxygen. Rico, thank you very much for the cheer there, nodding off. So, have some cheers and have a good night. Thank you, buddy. Lux Barban, thank you so much for the other gifts up there. That was really kind of you. That's all for tonight, though. Gotta keep some shinies for myself. Oh, indeed. Please don't ever worry about supporting a creator when you need to, you know, obviously take care of yourself. You should come first always. Could we please get those cleaned up? Because I've got a horrible feeling that you're really not going to like what happens if you don't. Okay, we're only shy by 30 kilos there. That's a rare one. You know what? Don't bother about going this way. And for the time being, don't worry about this. Just focus on the base for now. I feel like that's a bit of a higher priority. Minavi, thank you very much for 22 months. It's 2 twos. Double second month, best month. Hiya, Melody in time. Hi, chat. So glad to see more Oni. I'm off to the beginning of the VOD, so I don't miss anything. Have fun. Take care. Though, looking at the state of this colony, we may be starting a new one soon. Just being realistic. I'm better learning what I need to prioritize. We may well have duplicant barbecue soon. Need to be bringing in more ice, really. Even there is crazy hot. And it gets super hot going up as well. Not so bad going down over there, though. But yeah, everywhere else, pretty wretched. Pretty wretched. Dealing with the heat is, yeah. I mean, again, I'm not a particularly well acquainted Oni player. This has been a very interesting learning experience. Right. Now that all of that's done, let's hook this up. Thunk. And then we should see that starting to request coal. The lack of algae has been brutal, though. I think using polluted water to help supplement our oxygen production is a good move. Right, now that we've got that, I can get rid of you. That being said, actually, we don't yet have a renewable source of actually, no, I just need to just disconnect it. I can't remove the wiring because the wiring's running behind it. But we don't yet have a renewable source of coal, so it might be a bit of a risky move, but we'll see. Will we be seeing a full playthrough of Oni on the channel at some point? Well, I mean, if this colony fails reasonably soon, then it probably won't be going up on the second channel. But should we get a colony that does well, then I probably will go to the effort of chopping her up and getting her up on the second channel. As for the primary channel, yeah, there's every possibility, but it would be a much more time-consuming endeavor. I'm really trying to focus on getting more how should I put it, more edited content on the main channel, and there's a lot that goes into an Oni playthrough. There we go. What? How even? You know what? I don't mind. That almost worked out perfectly. It's completely unnecessary by the time we get there, but that was just funny to see. It's very... Well, it's not new, actually. There's people been subscribed to it for like 2 years, but there's been no videos on it. But yeah, I do have Aavak After Hours. If you type !archives, you shall find it. Is there a way to radiate heat in space? Yeah, absolutely. If you've got access to space, you could just have water or any other liquid or gas, just starting off at a lower temperature, pumped through the base so it absorbs some of that heat, and then piped up to space where you just expose it to the vacuum and it gets eaten up. Right. In terms of the base, I mean, it's coming together, I suppose, but we are suffering. Needed some of that ice, really. But it's so hot around here that the ice just melts the moment we try to gather it. Let's see if we can't get this place a little bit better set up, but we've got a lot of polluted oxygen just kind of off-gassing everywhere. But where we need it, really. We'll barely breathe down there, that's CO2. And once the CO2 is sufficiently concentrated, this won't off-gas at all, which is a bit of a risk, really. And because we barely use power, this isn't doing much. We need more power-hungry things doing stuffs. Either that or just get to hydrogen. Which we may well be able to do. Yeah, water sublimation. Well, actually, would water sublimate? Would you say sublimation of water? I mean, you could have sublimation of ice, I guess, but usually isn't sublimation the transition of a gas to... a solid to a gas? Whereas evaporation is the transition between a liquid and a gas? Lux the Avail gifted a sub to Cold Death. Thank you so much. Diolch yn fawr. 5 gift subs on the channel so far. Thank you. I really, really appreciate the support. I could be wrong though, because I mean I learned most scientific terms in Welsh, and so my grasp on the English equivalents is questionable at best. Paku, we don't need food, so I'm gonna reject. Ooh, we might need a doctor. Slow learner. Ugh. Building errands, no taste, iron get. That's not bad, but no, there's nothing particularly good there, so we're gonna reject anything. All right. Yeah, all of these areas are now becoming dangerous for us to go into. Which is super scary. I guess you just need to be a lot faster on this map. Explore out quickly. Get to the pockets where you can make use of liquid, so on and so forth. We just really haven't done that. Or I just haven't really done that. Up to the point. But alright. On the plus side, the oxyferns should be producing a reasonable amount of CO2. Of O2, because we are starting to get more CO2 down here. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and get that across. I can't wait to get 5,000 channel points so you can request the dupe that will immediately die. Well... Ah, but is bottled water liquid or solid? Damn, you got me. That's a very good question. Well, given the amount of water that is available, it makes sense for us to try and just get an electrolyzer. If we can get an electrolyzer up and running, then this little area is actually relatively self-sufficient, especially if we can get a hospital up on the go, because that would mean that our dupes would be okay-ish. If they got scolded a little bit, it wouldn't be the end of them. That's such a rough thing to say. Yeah, you'll be fine. It's just a little bit of scolding. It's not like you really were scolded. But the cooling of a oh man, the extra heat that would be being dumped out. I don't even want to think about it. That would be rough. We would be pumping super hot water. Oxygen in. It's quite breathable out here, of course, but that's out here. Oh, good night, Merc. Have a good one, mate. Well, trying to figure out how we would cool down, because we don't have steel, we don't have plastic, so making an electrolyzer with a powered aquatuner that's cooling via the heat deletion of a steam turbine is just out of the question. Let's have a think. If we got an aquatuner made out of gold amalgam, we haven't got any gold amalgam. Okay. Okay, so whatever we would use would need to cool down rather aggressively to keep it from breaking itself. I mean, I don't even know why I'm talking about steel. It's not like we've got any iron anyway. We could try moving a lot of the heat through the cold. Well, it's not really a cold biome, it's just ice. And eventually that's all going to melt, and rather quickly, actually. So it's not going to be a permanent solution, but maybe it would be something. We've got a Draklet around. If we could just set up a little Draklet farm. Yeah, I think that's where we're going to have to be. We need to get Draklets and hatches being farmed. This is a thing that is required. Gonna set up a new spine. That being said, though, I don't necessarily want to do it on this side because I may want to expand that out. But on this side, I'm going to be digging into this area, which is not nice either. I could do the ranching up top. That's an option. So it's a matter of finding space, really, for me right now. Maybe this is one of the better places that we've got for it. This can always be expanded down. A clean water tank here could always be expanded down. It's something that we could do. We've got a lot of water available. And it's one of the few things that's going to work in our favor is the availability of water. Aavak, has anyone told you that your voice is very calming and that it makes me sleepy and calm down? Yeah, as it happens, that's something quite a lot of people say. But it still sounds weird to me. I'm not a very big fan of my voice, but thank you. Zzz, I'm turning into a nodding bird. Time for bed. Keep having fun. Stay safe, everyone. I'll take care, Light Sentinel. Have a nice sleep. Hello, Manga Awesomeman. Well, we've got to decide what we're going to try and do to cool. We've got water aplenty, or at least for now, to produce oxygen. If I set up an electrolyzer, that's going to produce heat. Now, there's not much that I can put the heat into, which is the problem. So realistically, I'd want some sort of active cooling system. This is a tricky one. If I were to... If I were to submerge the aqua tuna, rather than going for any kind of immediate solution to the steel and getting a steam turbine up and running, I could submerge the aqua tuna in a large enough body of just liquid and just deal with that problem when it comes. Maybe even by getting rid of some of that heat into electrolyzers. That wouldn't be a bad idea, necessarily. But still, that's an awful lot of materials to build an aqua tuna. I didn't know you streamed. Now I do. I'll be watching. Love your style of videos. Oh, thank you very much. That's really kind of you to say. Yeah, there is an ice maker, but everything that makes something like ice radiates the heat. You don't just get free ice, free cold stuff. You heat up the machine that's making the ice by more or less equal amounts of heat as the ice is cold. So it's not a long-term solution, that one. Either way, though, we're going to need to fix up our problem with the food anyhow. It's reasonably hot over here. Reasonably cool there. Hot there. I think I'm gonna just have to suck it up and get a hatch farm and a Draco farm, I think. We can get these going reasonably soon, and that would help out a bit. Where we're going to put them, I would like them to be accessed from the outside. I might just have to accept that this is going to be a reasonably small airlock and then one day change that. I could get a hatch farm up here, probably a Draco farm as well. Though building it here would have a lot of water runoff. Building it somewhere over here would have a lot less. And I'm not intending to expand on this side, but we are going to have to contend with that extremely hot area over there. Oh well. We shall do what we shall do. Right. We've got a bit of a plan. It's going to take us a while to get to it, but whether we're still here by the time that we're even close to being able to realize that plan, that's an entirely different thing. I do need to resolve this because I'm spending a lot of dupe time faffing around with that. We do have the means of taking care of it to some degree. If I could, I'd like the water sieve to exist down here. It's not in an ideal position, mind you, but it'll do. The water sieve itself will generate heat. We'll allow that to vent off, it shouldn't be a problem. That does not need to be a priority. Why on earth have I got... Oh, my lord. Silly priorities. Oh, Crab's just so hurt. I'm so sorry. Right, there we go. We've got the means to build up an electrolyzer now. That is at least one thing. If we want to get the thermo aqua tuna, and we do, We'll have to start on that research now then. Oh, actually, before we do that, before we get too distracted, we need to make sure that we've got the means to ranch. So let's get to work on that one. I think that I saw some blue temperatures towards the bottom right. I may be wrong, but I just thought that I would mention it. Holosol, yeah, there is another glacier biome down here. You zoom right in its eyes. That's doing a good job of fighting off the heat, but this heat is everywhere right now.